Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Nope, that's not this game. Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Star Wars The Old Republic Knights of the Fallen Empire Edition. Now, before we get going into the Flashpoint, I have an announcement to make, and that is that the Sith Inquisitor series will stop after this Flashpoint, and will resume, and will continue when we have new chapters of the expansion to complete. And in its place, there is going to be a rather nice surprise coming tomorrow, and I hope you will all enjoy that. And now, without further ado, we will be participating in a heroic 2+ Flashpoint, Star Fortress, and that is, of course, the Star Fortress above Alderaan. So, let us speak to Lieutenant Marklow.
Welcome back. Everything's all set for another Star Fortress run. Ready? Alright, go get him, Commander.
Okay, so this is, well, apparently we're doing two heroic things. I have no idea. We've just got double the quests, double the missions, and hopefully double the rewards. I will not say no to rewards, of course. So let us just head inside and see what we can do here. Okay, so we are now on Theron Shan's vessel, and we are going to be interacting with the Nava computer and selecting Alderaan, of course. Currently in orbit over Odesson, displaying list of known unshielded star fortresses. Alderaan is our destination, of course.
Setting a course for Alderaan. You think I'm stuffy, Miat? You're in for a treat. Coming out of hyperspace. Miat, stealth maneuver 36. Get us in nice and close.
Oh yes, thank you very much, and I could hear the cloaking device actually engage there, so let us exit the shuttle and make our way on to the Star Fortress. Now, this is the first time I'm actually doing a heroic one, and instead of getting our, well, we're going to be not doing the solo mode, that's for sure, so let's head on in here. Yeah, let's not get incinerated, that would be bad, that would be pretty bad, and let us make our way down in the turbo lift already. Okay, well, that's impressive. Okay, let's do this. We have our first opponents here. Nothing to worry about too much just yet. Ah, it appears as though we have Ephemeris once again to eliminate. And yes, Zardrea appears to be the Exarch of this particular Star Fortress as well, so we are going to be fighting her, no doubt. And yes, hopefully not going to have too many difficulties with that. And we are getting a couple of pieces of loot here, nothing really to write home about. Maybe we will be taking that, I actually don't know. Well, we'll just greet it anyway. And now let's just head in here, do some damage with our death field as much as possible, see what we can do with a couple of our dots. Spread this to the Sky Troopers, of course. There we are. A nice assassinate on that one to finish it off. And let's continue onward. Okay, so do bear in mind that this particular Flashpoint is going to be a little longer than the solo mode, because, of course, heroic is going to mean that the enemies have much more HP, they do more damage, and so on and so forth. As far as I am aware, at least, because obviously I haven't done one in quite some time. I think when the game first actually came out, it was reasonably difficult to actually complete a heroic phase, let alone a heroic Flashpoint. So, yes, it will be interesting to see what kind of bosses they are going to be throwing at us, and, well, a lot of groups of enemies right now. Thankfully enough, we do have a reasonable AoE spec. We can spread the dots to everyone we desire, and then get pushed up here, apparently. Okay. Well, not entirely sure what was going on there, but nevertheless, we will continually deal damage to these fellows, take them out, no problem at all. And let's see what we can do about spreading the dots to these guys as well. There we go. Yes, there we are. And Zalek is doing a very nice job indeed. He is absolutely CCing a couple of people as well. Very nice to see that. And there we have it. The last Sky Trooper falls. And we will now be heading on. Ooh, there appears to be a force field here. I wonder whether we have to disable that just yet. It appears not. We just have to go to the upper decks once more. and we'll be making our way through the vessel here. Okay, so we have some Sky Troopers once more. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. A nice discharge and a creeping terror and so forth. That sounds good to me. There we have it. Oh, a Sky Trooper sniper. We cannot have him do anything as dastardly as attempting to deal some damage to us, can we? No, we must pounce on him as quickly as possible. There we are. Very nice. Okay, now we can head up here. Oh, there appears to be a war droid. Okay, well, the war droid's not going to be doing too much damage, as we do have Zalek, and we are going to be attempting to obviously stun this as much as possible. A nice force choke there, and we're also going to be getting some nice demolishes in here too. Okay, there we go. Now we can continue onward after this has been dealt with, of course. I don't want to run into a new group without actually having the rest of our companions here to help us out. That would be pretty bad on my part, goodness me. Okay, so a nice death field, and maybe we could actually get some dots up here as well. Gonna try and interrupt this guy from doing his damage abilities. There we are, nice demolish there, nice assassinate, and we will take this guy out. There we go. Very nice indeed to see that. Okay, wow. Nice assassinate critical hits we're getting here as well. And oh my, okay, there appears to be a lot more units in the heroic version, I have to say. It seems as though there are a lot more units anyway. Maybe it's just me, but I think that is the case anyway. Now, a nice death field to finish these guys off as well should be pretty good. Now, a nice leeching strike would actually not go amiss here. Seems as though we do need a little bit more healing now that the healing companions have been nerfed ever so slightly. We do need to make sure that we actually stay alive while we are fighting the ravenous hordes of droids. Yes, that does not make any sense, but I'm going to say it anyway. And we're going to be heading down here by the looks of things. Yeah, it seems like it.
Blasted Sky Trooper pods. Arkin loves those things, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He very much does love those things, but we actually have a Knight of Zakul here. A lot earlier than previously, that is for sure, encountering one of these. There we are. Come on, we can take this guy out, no problem at all. Thundering Blast. Wow, they actually have access to Thundering Blast. That is a very powerful ability that I believe... Who was it now? Darth Thanaton? I think Darth Thanaton actually used Thundering Blast back in the day when we were actually taking him on and actually trying to prevent him from killing us, of course. Oh my. Well, nevertheless, this Knight of Zakul is going to be falling before us very, very soon. And there we have it. Very nice indeed. Okay, so we can loot that, and that is a blaster rifle, which I will greed. Okay, so let us head down here and head to the next level. Oh my. Okay, so what are we going to be encountering now? Because we've already encountered a Knight of Zakul, which I have to say is, well, shall we say, quite rare, I suppose. Let's jump down here. Oh, really? I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Okay, so we have a Praetorian once more. This is going to be a lot more difficult than previously, so let's see what we can actually accomplish here. Now, I'm not sure whether we should focus on the ads or not. Should we focus on the ads? Not too sure, to be honest, because if we do, then maybe they'll respawn, but if we don't, then they'll just be doing free damage for the boss, to be honest. So it's probably best that we just deal with these guys and then focus on the boss itself. Seems to be a good plan to me. And then we'll be also dealing some damage with Demolish here as well, seeming to do some pretty nice damage, and doesn't actually seem to be dealing that much damage either, so I'm not entirely sure what the bosses are. I see. Okay, so the boss is actually to do with summoning ads here, and it seems to be actually doing a pretty good job at that, but thankfully enough, it actually seems to be firing at the completely wrong position. I'm going to move out of the way of that shockwave. Well, thankfully enough, we are going to be taking very little damage. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. We are being the focus of its attention right now, but maybe, as I say, it needs ads to actually be able to deal significant damage. As we can see here, these Sky Troopers are the reason why this boss is dangerous, I suppose. Because if you're focusing on killing the ads, then the boss can, of course, do whatever it wishes to you without you actually having any issues whatsoever. And yeah, well, that is my explanation of it anyway. And as we see, it is almost dead. So there we have it. That was actually a very easy boss indeed. And what are we going to be getting from it? Well, we're going to be getting some defensive equipment. Kind of unfortunate. Nothing really good for me there. I'm going to also be passing on this. I don't really require those stronghold things. And we are going to be... where are we going to be heading to now? I think over in this direction? Yes, an energy bridge leads us over into the next level, which will no doubt be greeted by a turbo lift as well. Oh yes, let us be done with it. Oh yes, let us be done with it. Well, we will be done with it very soon indeed. Once we actually meet you, I think the Exarch is actually going to be a pretty difficult fight in comparison to the Praetorian, of course. So let's just see how that goes. And I'm actually quite anxious to see what kind of abilities the Exarch is going to have as well, because obviously the Praetorian we are familiar with, but, well, the Exarch not so much. So, I'm going to assume that it's going to have some kind of force abilities, and, well, what else? What else could it have? Not entirely sure. It's probably going to try and employ many of the station's defenses as well, so we're probably going to have quite a few different abilities to worry about there. I am using deflection and saber overcharge here because I ran into these units without having Zalek by my side, as well as our comrades actually fighting behind us there. Unfortunately, I ran ahead without actually checking to see whether I had backup. So yes, probably not a good idea, but it does show that the companions are greatly reduced in terms of their healing capability. So that's actually rather nice, I gotta say. It's actually rather nice to have a little bit of a challenge now, because even though the healing companions were very powerful before, I gotta say that it did defeat most of the challenge in the game at that time, even though I actually did really enjoy having some overpowered abilities and generally being unstoppable, unkillable, in fact. So I did actually enjoy that quite a bit, but obviously that kind of thing has to come to an end, otherwise, well, it does defeat the purpose of actually fighting anything, doesn't it? So, yes. Nevertheless, we are going to be eliminating many of these units here, and where do we actually go? Oh, we go up this way, of course we do. Oh, yes. I am getting quite used to this spec as well, but I would actually like to try out Deception again. Oh my. Okay, so it appears as though we have some problem here. Oh, we have a bonus mission. Defeat the Eternal Empire Adjudicator and her entourage. Okay, well, where do we actually do that? It appears as though we have two different directions to head in. And what are we going to be doing? Well, it seems as though we'll head to the bonus mission first because it is very close by. So let's head on in here. Okay, so this is seeming to be an elite unit, a Zakul Knight, no less. So let's do it. Let's just head straight on in here and see what we can do. Seems not to be so bad so far. But obviously, whoa, okay, I'm actually taking quite a bit of damage, but obviously Zalek is healing us, as well as Akdog. Akdog is healing us as well, with Affectionate Slobber. How could we not want that, of course? And otherwise, we are going to be eliminating these ads very, very nicely indeed. And I think a nice Leeching Strike. I always forget that we have Leeching Strike to use, because obviously that does heal us, and that is indeed a problem with Deception as well, because it doesn't have any self-healing abilities, whereas we have Death Field here, as well as Leeching Strike, and that obviously does help a great deal. But there it is. We have gained influence with a wide variety of different people.
You believe you have hurt the Eternal Empire. You are but a nuisance.
Ah, well, a nuisance that is going to be killing you very shortly, I hope, anyway. So, yeah, well, let's just continue onward anyway, and... Wait a minute. Wait a minute, that is a dead end. No. How can we have any dead ends here? No. Okay, it appears as though we have to head... Oh, okay, so this is actually a new area. It appears I am getting a little bit lost in the maze-like structure of this particular Star Fortress, but we are going in the correct direction at least. Nothing really to worry about there. Not just yet, anyway. There we are. Eliminate that. And maybe we can take these guys out as well. Very nice indeed. Okay, there we go. Oh, there appears to be someone else that I did not see there. Okay, yes, not a demolish, thank you very much. Do not want to demolish just yet. Okay, now the next group of Sky Troopers. There we have it. Very nice. Okay, well there we have it, and now we can actually head inside here. We seem to actually be fighting a Knight of Zakul, however. Not entirely sure how we were aggroed this, but wow, okay. We are obviously being preyed upon by the elite that Zakul has to offer. And I have to say that they have some very impressive abilities, obviously Thundering Blast being among them. I'm going to try and interrupt Thundering Blast as much as possible, otherwise they are going to be dealing some pretty considerable damage, and we do not want that, that is for sure. We definitely do not want that, so let us attempt to just dot this guy up, and he is going to be falling before us. There we have it. Very nice indeed. And another shield. That is, of course, another defensive shield. That's actually rather impressive. Well, greeting that, of course, and let's head on through here. Our squad leader. We must eliminate the squad leader as quickly as we can. There we have it. Very nice indeed. Oh no, the medic! It's healing! Ah, we must interrupt it. There we go. Assassinate that medic. There we go. Very nice. And we'll be dealing with this guy very shortly as well. There we have it. And now the Empire Trooper will also be dealt with. And a nice demolish there. Very nice indeed. Okay, so yes, there we are. So now, down yet another level. I'm actually wondering when we're going to be fighting the Exarch itself. We're fighting through a lot of the minions. Oh, okay, here it is.
The ephemeris system is operating in ghost mode. All non-essential functions are suspended.
Your journey has ended here before. So it will again.
Okay, well, let's do this. We have the Knight of Zakul here. We have a couple of other things going on, and we just need to make sure that we can eliminate the Knight of Zakul forces, and then we will be absolutely fine. Hopefully we will be able to deal with this. Oh my, I'm taking a lot of damage right here, unfortunately enough. Okay, a nice death field. Ah, there is actually a Sky Trooper sniper over there dealing a lot of damage to us right now, but nothing really to worry about, as we do have Zalek and Akdog healing us, which is very nice to see indeed. Now let's try and get our discharge going on here, and try and get Assassinate, Demolish up on these guys, and we will try and deal as much damage as possible. And then we will of course be fighting the Ephemeris AI, who will once again get his physical form re-enabled. So let us just continue along this line here. We'll try and get a nice discharge and demolish as well. Okay, so far so good. And we appear to be in a very good health. Yes, I'm liking that very much. Okay, so now we can... Oh, take the lift.
Down, reactor's dead ahead. Get in there and do what you do best.
Okay, so apparently we are going to be... Well, these have defense on them, which is really quite unfortunate, but they are a better upgrade in terms of mastery as well. So, okay, well, we'll just head down to the reactor core. So we're not fighting the Ephemeris AI just yet. Okay, so instead we're going to be destroying the reactor stabilizer arrays. Okay, well, let's see what we can do about that. Okay, so we now have the reactor stabilizers to deal with, and wow, I actually thought that force field would stop me, but apparently not. We are just that powerful. Okay, so let us now head onward. Oh my, okay, so this is quite the problem, isn't it? We have to deal with a Sun Guard captain. Okay, well, this is new. A new kind of archetype of unit. That's going to be pretty interesting to fight, maybe? unless they have exactly the same abilities as every other Sky Trooper. It appears as though that is the case right now, but nevertheless, it is a grand obstacle to stand in our way, which will be devoured before us, and we will now be making our way forward. Obviously, we do have to deal with these other Sun Guards here. Ah, we found a photoelectric dampening field. Creates a localized dampening shield around the caster, absorbing a significant portion of incoming voltaic damage, in fact. Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, so what are we actually going to be doing with this item? Well, I suppose we can obviously use these magnetic anchor towers to make our way over.
We can deal with the stabilizers. After that, be ready to run.
Ah, yes. If we can get around that X-Arc. Well, that is a big if, isn't it? Oh! Okay, she appears to be right here. Okay, so let's deal some... Okay, apparently we're not dealing any damage to her. We are just going to be taking the fight to the Sun Guard captains by the looks of things. Okay, so this has a cooldown, so I assume I can just use this, and we're going to be absorbing damage. I actually have no idea when you need to use this, but it appears... Well, it appears we don't have any problems with actually just using it and then moving onward to other units to take them out as well. Hopefully a nice death field will finish these guys off. There we are. Very nice. And we can just deal with this duo of captains here. And I am actually not entirely sure what the X-Arc is doing right now. Seems to be letting us do whatever we desire. Oh, it actually seems like we need to pick these up from enemies for us to be able to even use them. It appears that is the case anyway. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll see. We will see. And these guys die very, very quickly indeed. And we actually do have, as we can see here, photoelectric dampening field. So that's rather nice. So let me interact with this. Overload that. There we go. Now, can we deal some damage to her? We can actually deal some damage to her by the looks of things. Oh, no. Okay, so apparently not. She's just going to surge away. And, well, I would say it's running away. Oh, yes. She is scared of us. That is for sure. And now we have to deal with these Sun Guard captains once again. Okay. Well, I gotta say, I am liking the heroic variant of the Flashpoint so far. I have to say that I do like the jumping components of it. Obviously, I feel as though the game could use a lot more mobility when it comes to their missions and various other things, such as Flashpoints, of course. But other than that, I am not entirely sure about their choice of enemy variety, because right now we are fighting Sky Troopers, and, well, you guessed it, more Sky Troopers. So that is a little bit worrisome for me, but other than that, I do really like the jumping, as I said, and obviously the choice of the X-Arc seems to be a very cool enemy to be fighting, or at least we will be fighting it rather soon, hopefully. And we'll see how she is in combat to fight. But right now, just chewing our way through the Sun Guard captains. Not really anything special to think about right here, but aha, here we go. Yes, we have the X-Arc once again. Now, are they actually... Oh, they're using critical chance increases. Okay. A little bit worrying. But nothing we can't deal with, of course. Now, what is she doing there? Oh my. Has transferred energy to a photoconduction drone. Aha. Okay, so that absorbs... Oh, I see. That absorbs... that. Oh, I see. Okay, so, yes, the dampening field is to dampen the damage from the photoconduction drone, which actually is significant. Seems to be rather significant. So, if we could just take these guys out, then that would be great. That would be really nice. And then we could hopefully disable the console as quickly as possible. So, let's use this. It has a cooldown of 11 seconds, so we may as well use it just in preparation for the next drone, if there is one. Yes, which there is, of course. So let's just continue to deal significant damage here. There we are, thank you. And now let me loot one of these. There we are. And... oh, I see. We can siphon energy, drains and dissipates photovoltaic energy from any prominent local sources. In other words, we can target the X-Arc and use this on her. There we are. Very nice. Okay, so that has stopped her in her tracks, hopefully. And now she's doing that. Oh, okay, so she's recharging her energy. I don't really know whether we want her to do that, so I'm going to interact with the console. And there we are. Destroy that. And now she is stunned once again. The explosion has overloaded your remaining capacitors. Yes, there we go. So now she's going to run away. Let me loot some of these things. Okay, so we have looted capacitors once again, and now we can just jump across to the next platform and make our way over to the next area. Our dampening field has been depleted, and apparently one of our comrades has perished. So I will be waiting here for some time, and I will see you soon. Okay, so we have been rejoined by our comrade here, and we will be making our way into the final zone, and hopefully eliminating the Exarch. Finally, yes. Okay, so if we can take these Sun Guard captains out once again, then we will be able to deal with the photo conduction drones once more. Obviously, she is going to summon one already. That is a little bit early, in my opinion. Well, nevertheless, let's see what we can do. I'm going to try to avoid her laser beam as much as I can. But we do want to take out this drone as quickly as possible. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's deal with the ads as well. I am taking a lot of damage, so I'm going to use deflection here just to make sure that I survive this particular encounter. And a nice assassinate to eliminate this one. Yes, there we go. Okay. So now I can actually use this on her once again. Siphon energy. There we go. You need more to drain the Exarch's shield. Okay, so we're going to have to do that once more. I'm going to need to find another one. I think I actually do have another one, but we can loot an additional one from that over there. But I'm going to use this right now. There we go. We've drained her energy. And now hopefully that will become selectable. Yes, it is. Thank you. And we are being pulled away from it. Of course we are. There we have it. Now we can defeat the Exarch, apparently. Okay, so let us activate that. And she appears to actually be attacking us now? No, apparently not. Apparently she is running once again, but we will be pursuing her across the Star Fortress's walkways and finally taking out this captain. There we go. Okay, so now let me just pick up this. There we have it. And now we will be making our way over once again. Maybe. Apparently not. Maybe up here. Okay. Excellent. Okay, there she is. There she is. And now, do I actually need to use anything against her? Well, probably. So, let's do this. Okay, now... no. It appears as though I do not need to siphon energy from her once again. She is obviously going to be getting some reinforcements. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but we will be using our Saber Overcharge right here. And hopefully not dying in the process. She is using impaling strikes. I was hopeful that I'd be able to move away from that, but yes, it seems as though there is a little bit of discrepancy from that there. Okay, nothing to worry about right now. She is using a shield. There's a mental apparition. Probably need to eliminate these, don't we? Do we need to eliminate these? I suppose so. Actually, wait a minute. Did they just explode? Maybe. Maybe they were actually meant as a way to explode and deal significant burst damage? Maybe that is it. Because right now they appear to be quite far away, so I'm going to try to stay away from them, not go into melee range, and then we'll see what we can do about avoiding that damage. Seems maybe that is the way to go. We're also going to try and avoid as much of her conal attacks as possible. As many of them, should I say. Now, let's try and eliminate more of these mental apparitions. They don't seem to actually be doing much. Okay, I'm going to need to read the description on their ability next time they actually spawn so that we can tell what they're actually doing. That might be an idea. But it appears as though the Exarch is falling before us just like any other enemy, and unfortunately, Zalek appears to be killed, so we're going to have to rely on the Akdog, which is perfectly fine. No problem there. And we can then apparently have difficulties because these mental apparitions have now spawned once more, and that appears to be a defeat, and we'll be heading back to the med center. I'll see you when we arrive back at the boss. Okay, so we have fought the Exarch down to 40% HP once more, and now hopefully I will not get killed instantly. Yes, that has happened before. When I've resumed commentating, I have died instantly beforehand, but yes, not on this occasion, thankfully enough. So let us continue our damage against the Exarch. Obviously, the mental apparitions, what they do is they actually reduce damage and healing done, so we're going to have to try to kill those as quickly as possible. They don't seem to explode on us or anything like that. I thought they may move to us very, very slowly and explode for major damage, but no, it appears as though they're not doing that, and instead we are just going to be taking a huge amount of damage. Wow, that was a lot of damage right there, but thankfully enough, I was able to survive, and now it appears like we will be taking her down. Another assassinate, come on. Oh, there's a AoE, come on, we need to avoid that. There we go. Let's try and see if we can actually eliminate it eventually. Come on. Yes. Yes, there we go. And now all we need to do is use the turbo lift to escape. And wow, that's actually not bad. It's worse than what I have, but nevertheless, I'm going to be greeting it. And oh wow, there we go. We actually have an Eternal Empire Recon Walker. Well, that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so I am, I suppose, going to be greeting on that as well. And then we are going to be greeting on this, I suppose. I don't really need the materials, but nevertheless, we can now go into the maintenance turbo lift, and that will be our escape. Okay, so there we have it. We have completed Heroic 2+ Flashpoint, the Star Fortress. And you must select one of your reward items. What reward items? Okay, it appears as though we have a slight bug here. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, well, nevertheless, let us take some of this. Okay, I'm actually not entirely sure what we are... Whoa, okay. That looks pretty fancy. So what are we going to be taking here? Well, I suppose I'll take this? Yeah, I'll take that. It doesn't really matter, as far as I'm aware. The look changes ever so slightly. Yes, I think we'll just take that. There we go, thank you, and we'll take that. There we go. Okay, so that worked, no problem at all. And there it is. Now all we must do is speak to Choza Rabat on Odessen. And I will cut away while I make my way to him. Okay, so we have found where Choza Rabat is, and we are going to be speaking to him. It is finally done, Commander. The sky over Alderaan is free of the Star Fortress's shadow. I see my decision to join your alliance was the correct one. I am only one Jedi, but I will serve you with the same loyalty I gave the order. And speak very quickly, because apparently the text scrolls quite a bit fast. Okay, whenever you need me, I stand ready to fight by your side. May the Force be with you. And there we have it. Thank you very much, and we can now use him as a companion, I believe. That is very cool. So let us get some alien research there. And that will be it for Zainash for now. And I'll see you with the new chapters. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.